Good morning. I want to have a short exploration of relationship with Jesus. Have you ever thought about who Jesus is or how we're supposed to relate to him? It's not a new question. It's something that's in the Bible in lots of places. I'm going to read one from Matthew's Gospel and then talk about a little bit, see where it goes from there. But I offer this just for thought, relationship. So this is from the 16th chapter of Matthew, and the verses are 13 through 19. Now when Jesus came into the district of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do people say that the Son of Man is?" And he said, "Some say John the Baptist, but others Elijah, and still others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets." And he said to them, "But who do you say that I am?" Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." And Jesus answered him, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah. For flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father in heaven. And I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." Jesus asked the question, how do people relate to me? How do they think of me? Who do they think that I am? Let's take the first part of the answer and look at the answers that people gave. First one was John the Baptist. John was a contemporary of Jesus. He was his cousin, only about 6 months older. But John was powerful. John went out in the wilderness and he was preaching repentance. He was baptizing. He challenged the leaders of the day. He was somebody that the people, the general population, could respond to, could associate with. And they went to John. They believed John. They listened to John. But John had been beheaded. And the next example they gave was from the Old Testament, was Elijah. But a lot of the people knew the stories from the Old Testament. And maybe you remember the story of Elijah. Elijah challenged the prophets of Baal. Is it your God or is it my God? And so after a long drought, they took 2 bulls, and they each prepared one, but they didn't put the fire to it. And Elijah said to the prophets of Baal, "Call on your God to light the fire on these bulls." And 450 of them chanted for all morning and got nothing. And so Elijah said, "Well, maybe he's sleeping. Let's see what God will do." And Elijah prayed to God, and God brought the fire and consumed the bull. So these are kinds of people that the people could respond to, could relate to. And Jesus was doing those kinds of miracles. He was doing those kinds of signs. And so it was normal for him to be associated with those kinds of people, John and Elijah. But when Jesus asked the disciples, "Who do you say that I am?" Peter came out with a very different answer. "You are the Messiah. You are the Son of the living God." I think Jesus' response to that is incredibly important to our relationship to Jesus. He tells Peter, "You didn't learn that from men. You didn't learn that from history. You didn't learn that from seeing other people do that. You learned that because my Father gave you that word. That's very different than trying to associate with people that we know. Now, personally, I don't think that Peter really understood what he said. He didn't understand Jesus' mission. He didn't understand what was going on. In fact, it's just a few verses later that Jesus says to Peter, "Get behind me, Satan. I have to fulfill my Father's mission." Because Peter didn't want Jesus to die. He wanted to defend him. And Jesus knew that that was part of his mission. But Peter didn't understand. But still, Jesus said, "You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church." Now, just between you and me, I don't think he was saying Peter the man. I think he was saying Peter the confession. You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. That's what he's building his church on. That's what's important to us. And that's about relationship. I struggle like Peter did. Maybe it's wrong of me to think that I struggle like Peter did, but I struggle with how my relationship with Jesus goes, because I don't understand everything that Jesus did, that Jesus thought, that Jesus wants me to think, and most importantly, that Jesus wants me to believe. But I believe that Jesus was the Messiah. I believe that Jesus was the Son of God. I believe every Sunday when I say the Apostles' Creed that that's what this is about. And I don't have to understand all the eaches and parts to understand that that's the core of the relationship. I hope that we can all take some confidence from the way this passage goes. People have all kinds of ways and thoughts, but Peter said it in just very few words. You are the Messiah. You are the Son of the living God. And I think that's the crux of our relationship with Jesus, is acceptance, is faith in that response, in that answer. And that's what's important to me. I struggle. I really do want to understand more than just that much. But that's the core. That's the part that I hold on to. And so I offer that to you today. Think about your relationship. Think about what's important to you. Think about how that causes you to act and to be and to think. But at the core, think about who is Jesus, and think about Peter's answer. I think, for me, Peter's answer is the answer. I pray today that we can all think about our relationship on a regular basis. And as part of that relationship, listen to the clues that we get from Jesus on how to do everything else. But hold fast to the idea, you are the Messiah. You are the Son of the living God.